Hello everyone and welcome to our live election night special, Midterms 2022, the very special. My name is Andrea Bridges-Smith and I am very worried that democracy is about to collapse right in front of my eyes.
Hi, I'm Austin Dutz. I'm very excited to be here at the desk with you this week, and I'm really looking forward to a night of surprises, mostly. I'm looking forward to seeing some democracy in action.
Sure.
And white hot rage.
Now, did you say democracy in action or inaction?
I sure did. Anyway, back to you in the studio, Andrea.
Okay, we are in the same studio, but that's totally fine. So before we get started, just a quick disclaimer for you. If you are a red hat wearing MAGA Trumper, you are just gonna hate this, okay? This is not gonna be fun for you at all. I recommend going over to whatever void Tucker Carlson is screaming into, and go be over there. But for anybody who is at all to the left of that, even a good old-fashioned fiscal conservative, my God, you remember those?
They were cute.
Those are fun. You guys are all welcome here, and we are happy to see you. Let's dig into some of the key races that we are going to be following for you tonight. So we have several governor's races that we are following. We have a lot going on in the Senate because it's a very exciting night for a Senate election. And we have a few House races as well. So, Austin, are there any of those in particular that you're really excited about?
I cannot wait to once again get my hopes up about Beto O'Rourke taking Texas, because, you know, every time that disappointment just stings a little harder.
Yes, that is our absolute favorite pastime in the state of Texas. Gosh, we love that so much. We're going to be reporting actual election results, but there's also going to be jokes. We're going to have fun. We're going to have a good time, you guys. I hope you're ready for that. Hope you like fun. We love fun. One thing I just want to point out. We do not have Steve Kornacki here, okay? We don't have the big board. I'm not sure actually why we don't have Steve. Do you know?
I called his people, they said he had a work thing tonight. It sounded like bullshit to me, but hey, that's what they're gonna go with, that's what I'll believe for now.
Okay, little work thing for Steve, whatever. But here is what we do have. We have our own version of the big board with Mr. Austin Dodson. He's already got his khakis on, his sleeves are rolled up, he's ready to go. Austin, let's take a look at that board and see what's going on over there.
Hey, I cannot wait to show you this. This is going to be some of the latest technology here for you. This is DE technology, and I'm going to use it to live update this accurate map of the United States as the races come in. Several of them already have, and we'll be filling that in throughout the night. If you don't understand the technology, don't get hung up on it. We'll explain it afterwards.
All right, great. And I am over here at the women's rights meter. This is how we're going to keep track of whether or not women will have rights tomorrow. Right now, I've got it halfway full because as far as I know, I'm still allowed to drive without my husband's permission, even though I can't get an abortion. So I got that going for me.
And we're going to be cutting back to Jen, our field reporter, as the night goes on. We're going to have a lot of good updates from her.
All right, great. Austin, do you want to get us started with a little beverage? I know I would be able to make it through the night a lot easier if I had a little something to help steady my nerves, because I'm going to be honest, I'm a little freaked out right now. What do you got over there?
Well, I have just the thing for that.
Okay.
Thanks to our friends at Wild June Gin, we have just the drink made for just this. We're calling it the legislative branch.
Okay, great.
Now, we've got some excellent gin,
Tremendous.
some sweet vermouth right in there.
That smells really strong.
Couple of glasses,
Fantastic.
a little jiggle, and
Okay.
away we go. We are off to the races. Hold on
Okay.
1 second.
Oh.
Let me zhuzh
I
a little
love a
zhuzh
zhuzh.
for
I
you.
love a
That's some
zhuzh.
zhuzh right there.
Is that
All right.
lemon? lemon peel?
It was when I cut it a couple hours ago.
Fantastic.
Hey, cheers to the end of democracy.
Cheers! Cheers to all of you.
If you're drinking along at home, that's one.
That is a strong, strong beverage right there, which is exactly what we need as we start diving into some election results. Now, polls closed, started closing a couple of hours ago, so we do have some results to report. This is more than just a joke show, folks. It is actually a news show. We're going to tell you actual news. So, up to the board for the Kentucky results. So we have Rand Paul, the Libertarian, longtime congressperson over there in Kentucky, versus Charles Booker, and it looks like we have Rand Paul projected to beat the pants off of Charles Booker. I don't even think it was close. Austin, let's go on over to the map and let's talk about some of those key counties over in Kentucky that are making a difference in this race. Is there like an urban-rural kind of, divide going on, or what do you think?
Well, this is a very important race for a lot of reasons, and most of them are about disappointment. Now, as we all know, Kentucky is somewhere around here, and we're going to call this one a win for the red. Sad but true, there is, in all likelihood, a push of this actually is going to keep going as we see results come in from the east all night in that direction, and we're just going to be seeing, I'm predicting just red all over the place. It's just going to be spraying everywhere. On the upside, I don't think this is going to be everything, and we are going to be checking back in with this board all throughout the night. Back to you in the studio, Andrea.
Great. Again, we are both in the same studio. Just want to remind you of that real quick. So some interesting things about this race. A couple of things kind of jumped out at me. Number one, Rand Paul declined to debate because he said that Charles Booker had advocated for violence. Like he thought that they were going to show up to a debate with cameras in front of them and he was just going to get cold cocked in the mouth. I don't think that's how debates work. I've never been to one, but is that your understanding as well?
Well, the cock in the mouth thing is a big thing in a lot of debates. And, it's often what actually brings people to watch them. That is where real politics happens in the U.S. I don't genuinely myself believe that Rand Paul was afraid of violence, as he is a big proponent of everyone carrying guns all the time, everywhere, except around him, or when it could impact his life in any negative way.
Yeah, that's an ongoing theme. Another issue that came up in Kentucky is abortion, okay? Big issue across the United States. It's happening everywhere. A lot of states have this on the ballot. Kentucky was one of them. They had Amendment 2, which would remove the right to abortion, currently sitting at a no, almost 10 points on a no there. So that's kind of an interesting juxtaposition there. We're voting for Rand Paul, who's like, have a gun, please. But we're saying we're not okay with abortion, and so people of Kentucky, you have me intrigued.
Well, in their defense, you often have to take the bad with the shit when it comes to Kentucky politics. Now, Rand Paul, he's an eye doctor, but yet he can't see anything. It's weird. I think he, in the latest legislative session, actually did blame Dr. Anthony Fauci for inventing abortions in China. And that might be where his stance comes from. He does hate that Anthony Fauci.
Yes, everybody knows that Anthony Fauci was born in Wuhan. He's got a lot of close ties there, so that's probably where he was doing all the abortion stuff. Speaking of things that are not great in terms of electoral results, we have another result that we are going to call out of Florida. It's not a big surprise, but it upsets my tummy anyway. Ron DeSantis is projected to win the governor's race in Florida. Everybody thought that being mean to migrants was not going to work out for him, and it turns out that wasn't the case. Can you believe it?
I genuinely can. I will believe any story I read that starts with Florida. Because after that, it's genuinely probably true. I don't know for a fact that they allow the meth-addled alligators to vote, but I haven't heard that they don't.
Okay, yes, we should do a deeper dive into that. Perhaps an investigative journalism piece that lasts a good, probably hour and a half.
Oh, that'd be great.
We'll set aside some time for that later. Just if we can get our producers to write that one down. So that's two results that I don't love. And I think what we're going to do next is I'm going to have to bust out the emotional support basket.
Oh, I've been waiting for this.
Yeah, because we're anticipating, you know, some red waves, some red tsunami. There's a lot of chatter out there about, you know, just too much red. So we have some things to help support us emotionally during this time. So first up, we have some more gin from our friends at Wild Gins. I've got backup gin, so if you run out of that, I've got this ready to go.
Excellent.
I do have some Halloween candy that I borrowed from my kids because I did give birth to them, and all they've ever given me is a lifetime of joy. So of course I'm going to steal some of their Halloween candy. I do have a little bit of lavender oil here if you need kind of an aromatherapy type situation.
Ooh, yeah, let me get
Try that. That feels nice. Just dab that on your pulse
Oh.
points. Yeah, that's going to be lovely. You're going to feel good all night long. Okay, and then we have some emotional support cheese here from our good friends at Antonelli's Cheese Shop, my favorite cheese shop here in Austin. I've got a Gouda and I've got a cheddar. You want some cheese?
Absolutely. They assured me that the Gouda actually goes great with disappointment.
Yeah.
The saltiness matches the bitterness that I feel in my heart.
Yeah, it's there for us when we need it. And then finally, I found this bottle of pills in the gutter, so I don't know if you want one of those, but those are there for you if you need to.
Absolutely, Andrea.
Yeah.
I try not to go through any election cycle straight.
Yeah, I don't recommend it. Hopefully the burning goes away fairly quickly. Yeah.
Oh.
Can you feel your toes right now?
Are those my toes?
Yeah.
I don't know what gutter you're fishing in, but
Yeah.
that's some high quality emotional support.
That's my favorite gutter to fish in. Okay, moving right along. So Ron DeSantis, you know, we have that race we're following in Florida. We have a couple of others where we're still waiting for some results. Oh, actually, you know what? We have some results just in. Also from Florida, Marco Rubio is projected to beat Miss Sassy Val Demings. Austin, I'm going to need you to go over to the board because this is a lot of information coming in from Florida right now. We got to get to that map. We got to talk about Florida counties. Tell us what is happening in everyone's favorite dong-shaped panhandle of the U.S.
Well, the wang of the states has definitely started to just scab over red. And you'll notice that it's just filling in, it's aggravated, it's angry at a lot of what it's been seeing, and now it's hanging in here real down with the red, and it's moving into the neighboring states as well, just a little bit offhand. I don't see any small blue pustule counties in here really saving this from, well, I don't know if you can put a condom on a state, but we know that Florida wouldn't if it could.
That is an excellent point, Austin. So let's talk about the stakes of this election in Florida, okay? In Florida, you've got a big sea of red. It's looking that way. What does this mean for anybody who is trans, or an immigrant, or a trans immigrant, or an immigrant trans person? How are those guys, you know, what do they have to look forward to after this? It doesn't sound like good news.
Well, I'd say prison, but prison being federal or state-run facilities will no longer allow trans or any of the LGBTQ spectrum in there. So they will be turned into meth and then fed to the alligators.
Gotcha. Okay. That sounds like an interesting way to go about things. So At this point, we just got started. There's already a lot of red coming in on the map. And I don't know, I'm going to take another sip here and hope that that works. Is that working for you? It helped.
Not enough.
Yeah, I think I need something a little bit more. Can we do the baby goats? Can we do the baby goats real quick?
Yes.
Okay, that was helpful. Thank you, baby goats. I really needed that. Moving now over to Georgia. We've got a lot of stuff going on in the South tonight. It's an exciting night. So let's talk about the Senate race over in Georgia. We've got two very different candidates. We've got Raphael Warnock, who seems to be a pretty decent human being, and then we've got Herschel Walker, who just cannot seem to keep it together. My gosh, that guy has had scandal after scandal after scandal. He's paying for abortions left and right, so ladies, if you need one, he's the guy to call. And his own kid is not a fan. It's always interesting when that happens. They're gonna have a fun time at Thanksgiving, don't you think?
Oh, I can't imagine that's in any way accurate, Andrea. They seem to really genuinely hate each other in the way that only a father and disenfranchised son could.
Yeah, I'm a little worried about them. Would recommend some family therapy. So with, let's see here, 61% of the vote counted in Georgia. They're counting fast over there. Walker, 46%. Warnock is 51%. Oh God, a blue person is ahead.
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
Now, before you get too excited, and I don't want to, rain pee-pee all over your little parade, but let's remember that Democrats usually do more early voting and Republicans usually vote more day of. So a lot of times what we see is early lead in Democratic races where it's close, and then later on in the evening we get that as Kornacki would say, a tranche of votes from the day of, and then the numbers start to swing back the other way. So that could be what we're in for.
If Steve Kornacki says it, and I have dedicated most of my adult life to looking at Steve Kornacki, listening to Steve Kornacki, and following Steve Kornacki from 2 car lengths behind, I believe him when he tells me things, except when he says go away.
You might want to knock some of that off. I'm not sure that that's a 100% good idea.
You're not my parole officer, Andrea.
Well, some days I wish I was.
Indeed.
All right, I believe Austin mentioned earlier that we are going to be giving out some awards this evening for outstanding achievement in election ads. The campaign ads this year were just, a thing of beauty, a sight to behold. First up, we are going to give out our award for the worst community theater production, and that one goes to Tudor Dixon. Take a look at this absolute gem of an ad.
Speaking of kids, Whitmer says she's going to work like hell to keep killing babies.
And she put COVID patients in Graham's nursing home.
Graham died alone.
Okay, I'm voting for the other chick. What's her name?
Tudor Dixon!
Okay, let's roll.
Watch out for potholes. Whitmer never kept her promise to
Fix the damn roads.
I can't wait to see where that ragtag bunch goes next. They are adorable, aren't they?
I do like watching them on the TV screen.
It makes me giggle, but not at all for the reasons that they wanted us to. Let's head back on over to our friends in Georgia, okay? So we have another race that we are following in Georgia. That is the governor's race, okay? We have Democrat Stacey Abrams, who, if elected, would be the first black female governor of Georgia, which is so exciting. Oh my God, I want that so much.
I am tremendously excited to be disappointed in that later.
Yes. And then on the other side of the aisle, we have Mr. Brian Kemp, who is currently the governor. And judging by the current numbers, it sounds like he might stay that way. We've got 64% of the votes counted in Georgia. Again, they are just really fast on the tabulations there. Kemp is up 51 to 48. Now, this is a close one, you guys. I think Kemp is expected to win this race, but my gosh, that is a razor-thin margin right now.
It really is, and in that razor's edge, we have an actual third candidate that no one's heard about. His name's Shane Hazel, and he is primarily in this race to bring his libertarian point of view that you need to buy Bitcoin with him. Buy his Bitcoin. That has been his platform. He has stuck to it. In every debate, he has sold Bitcoin on his website, Bitcoin. And you got to admire that kind of stick-to-itiveness in a tremendously losing candidate.
Yes, it's great that there are so many important issues right now. Crime, the border, inflation, abortion, and he just blew past all of them and went all in on something that just doesn't seem to work very well at all. So kudos to him. I love the tenacity. One thing I want to point out, there's a third race in Georgia that we're going to talk about in a little bit with old Marjorie Taylor Greene, one of our favorite people on the show. And she said that if Abrams wins, Republicans would leave the state. Now, that could be great news for Georgia. My question is, where would they go? Would they come here? And how do we make that not happen?
Well, unfortunately, we have just had another update, and it might answer that question. Early results are coming in Texas.
Oh dear, okay,
Yeah.
Let's head on over to Texas. Wow, this is an exciting night. Okay, do we need to look at the map?
I think we have to go to the board for this one.
Okay, let's look at the map. So we are following the governor's race in Texas. So we've got Beto O'Rourke versus Greg Abbott. Okay, again, two very different candidates. Too early to call, only 52% of votes in with Texas. Abbott is up 51 to 47.9. Gosh, this is razor thin. Austin, let's take a look at the map and talk about some of those key areas in Texas where we know we have some really fun congressional districts going on.
Well, I have to start with my personal favorite area, the only one I feel truly safe in, and not because I have a gun. And that's right here in the dead center of the basic rectangle that is Texas. And you'll see this part is really going hard for Beto. Really going hard for Beto over here. Sadly, most of the rest of this is probably going to go for Abbott. They love his stance on screw you, I'm Greg Abbott. They love his stance on I don't really think it's the federal government's job to police the borders. They love his stance on more screw you, I'm Greg Abbott, and I'm going to do what I want to do. But we do have that slim hope that once again, we can nearly see Beto win. And won't that be nice?
I think that would be absolutely lovely. Almost as lovely as the time that Ted Cruz got clocked in the head with a White Claw. So now we are going to head on over to our field correspondent, Jen, who is actually out in Texas right now, reporting live on election night. Jen, can you tell us about the mood out there? What's going on out there?
Well, the mood here is electric. We are in Texas, so everybody's talking like this. And, well, actually, no, that's just me. So I hear people, they're walking around, they're milling around, they're very, very excited. It's very close, as you said, that's a razor thin margin. I mean, real razory. I mean, I don't know. I hope.
And so, Jen, just double checking, you are in Texas, right? Just double checking there? Okay, because you have the hat and everything. I just wanted to make sure. Okay. Thank you so much for checking in, Jen, and we are going to come back to you later on in the show to check in and get some more results. Now we're going to continue our barnstorm across the South, okay?
Okay.
Next up, we're moving kind of in an east to west sort of motion. We're going to head on over to Arkansas, where we are following the Arkansas governor's race. Okay, so we've got Sarah Huckabee Sanders, who is just real Republican. And then we have Chris Jones, who is a Democrat, who did not stand a motherfucking chance in this race in Deep Red, Arkansas. Projected winner there is Sarah Huckabee Sanders. Austin, are you surprised at all?
Sadly, no. I saw this coming. The second Sarah Huckabee Sanders had a name to speak. She was always destined for this role, and that's not a good thing. In the same way that evil will always repeat itself, so that good can one day very nearly triumph, but lose in the last second because of undecided voters.
Right, so I'm going to go ahead and update the women's rights meter, so bear with me real quick. Okay, so we have
I love to see where this is going. The women's rights meter is one of my favorite modern technologies. Can you show us where we are?
Yes, so here's where we're at right now, and we've had a number of red results coming in, so I'm just going to kind of scooch this down a little bit. Let's just lower our expectations for women being able to have rights tomorrow. Austin, do you happen to know of a good burqa shop?
As a matter of fact, I do. But I'm sorry you won't be able to go there without your husband's permission. So there actually was another candidate running, and I think you're all going to love this. Tell them about our last guy down there.
Oh yes, a third-party candidate. We're having some fun with those tonight. Shane Hazel thought he was the funnest guy, but this guy knows how to party. His name is Ricky Dale Harrington Jr. Is that not the most Alabama name you've ever heard in your entire life?
That name comes with a tramp stamp. It must be whether he was born with that and a mullet, and I don't know how they didn't vote for him. I'm willing to bet he didn't write his name properly on the ballot application.
It's a lot of names. That's like 4 names for him to get through. So that's pretty intense. But we wish him all the best. He's a libertarian. He never had a shot in this race. But gosh, what a fun name. Okay. It's time to do another award, and we were just in Arkansas. Now we're going to move over to Alabama. A lot of people get those 2 states mixed up. Very similar names, similar region. We don't mix those up. We're professionals, God damn it.
I did not realize they were 2 separate states.
Okay, one of us is a professional. Okay, the next award that we are giving out for outstanding achievement in campaign ads this year goes to Kay Ivey, the Thinks It's Fun If You Don't Know Who's Carrying a Gun award. Let's check that one out.
Years I've held a gun permit for safety, security, and just cause. The Second Amendment is sacred, so I passed concealed carry for Alabamians to arm themselves without government interference. That way, you don't know who's got what in their purse. Lipstick, an iPhone, or maybe a little Smith & Wesson 38.
Kay Ivey for Alabama.
All right, if there is one thing I can tell you based just on that ad alone, it's that Kay Ivey has a prize-winning potato salad recipe.
Oh my God, she must. And even if it wasn't, I would tell her that it was.
Yes, she's kind of terrifying.
I am afraid of her.
Okay, this is maybe our favorite race of the night. It's the one that, gosh, we've been following for a long time on the show, and it just makes me so happy to see kind of how things are going right now, because I did not expect this. Up in Pennsylvania, okay, we've made it through the South. Let's go north. Let's go back northeast, okay? Let's talk about the Senate race in Pennsylvania, where we've got Dr. Oz versus John Fetterman, okay?
I love these 2.
Yeah, they are a fun, dynamic duo. I would pay good money to see them on some kind of like VH1, like buddy comedy, surreal life type situation. That would be a good show, wouldn't it?
Is that a serious offer?
I don't know. If somebody wants to pay money for that idea, I'm happy to work with you on that.
I'll get on the phone with Netflix right when we're done with this.
Good. They're probably watching already. 11% of the votes in. They're counting a lot slower than Georgia. They're not as speedy as those guys. This is great news, okay? I'm excited about this. Fetterman is up currently 71% to Oz's 26%. I feel like that deserves a cheers, right?
I agree, but this isn't the drink to have for this particular result.
Oh, okay.
No, I have something special in mind
Okay.
just for this race.
Okay.
We're calling it the Oz shot because this has 1 ounce of liquid, what was it, crudité? No, it's the other one, the vegetable platter. 1 ounce of liquid vegetable platter and 1 ounce of tequila, because apparently that's what you drink with vegetable platter. Anyway, here's to you, Doc. This is going to be disgusting. Repulsive.
Yeah, God, the color really doesn't do the flavor justice.
It does not, no.
All right, well, at least we got more booze inside of ourselves. I think that's helpful.
It's going to come out weird later, Adrian.
Looking forward to that. Okay, now we've got a couple of other races that we are following in Pennsylvania. So now I want to go live to our field correspondent Jen once more. Jen, Jen's in Pennsylvania now? Jen, are you in Pennsylvania?
That's right, Andrea. I'm in Pennsylvania now.
Okay. How did you get from Texas to Pennsylvania so quickly? Is that even possible?
Magic.
Okay.
I mean, she does look very warm in that second hat.
Sure. Impressive hat collection. Okay. Jen, tell us about the mood on the ground in Pennsylvania. What are people feeling right now?
Well, right now, I think everybody's just really excited that they're not going to have to learn what crudité is.
Yes, as well they should be. It's just vegetables on a plate, you guys. It's not intimidating at all. So, Jen, what do you think we can expect out of Pennsylvania as the night goes on?
I think we're going to see a lot of Pennsylvanians wearing lots of scarves and hats in anticipation of a Democrat win. I think we can really look forward to that. It looks good. I mean, obviously we can't call it because it's not done. It's looking pretty good though. I'm going to go ahead and get my hopes up.
Okay, that's the kind of in-depth political analysis that we go to Jen Haston for. Jen, thank you so much for being here with us, and we're going to check back in with you in just a little bit, okay? All right, so let's talk about the polls, okay? Are polls total bullshit? We don't know anymore. I took a look at 538 earlier today. You got to take that one with a giant grain of salt. They don't always get it right, do they?
No, they do come with a good soft pretzel.
Yes, a little beer mustard with that. It's going to be tasty stuff. But let's talk about some of the other polls out there, okay? So one that I saw earlier was the Church's Fried Chicken poll, the official drumstick sponsor of the midterm 2022 elections. And they were one of the polls that showed Republicans winning by a landslide. Austin, though, I think you've seen some other polls that said that the Democrats might have a good night. So tell me about some of those.
Oh yeah, there are lots of them out there. Now that we've allowed pollsters to be entirely sponsored, most of your coastal cities, the ones located near your basic waters.
Sure.
They will have beach-based sponsors who will mostly go with the skimpiest dressed person.
Gotcha.
Which is not always pleasant.
Okay.
But nonetheless, I personally like the Nike-sponsored polls, where they just encourage you to think of a candidate you like and just do it.
Yeah, and I think if anybody can be trusted, it's definitely Nike on polling. It's what they're best at. I mean.
Oh my God, that was their primary function.
Sure, absolutely. I also saw a poll the other day. It was of suburban white women aged 35 to 35 and a half that own 2 pairs of Lululemon yoga pants. And those ladies were surprisingly voting for Republicans, which, given the abortion issue, really kind of set me back.
I was surprised that Janine and Florence really came together on that one too. It's not like them, but I'm glad that they did find common ground.
God, they bicker all the time.
Oh, don't they?
That last dinner party was a bitch.
I brought a shrimp tray.
Yeah. Speaking of things that you would not want to eat, it is time for us to give out another award. You guys, we are chock full of awards tonight. And this one goes out to Colorado, okay? This person did not win their primary against Lauren Boebert, but they definitely won our hearts with this ad, okay? So this is the Most Innovative Use of Shit Award, and it goes to Alex Walker. Let's take a look.
Oh, shit!
We
Oh, shit!
We are real Coloradans. We deserve a living wage, small government that actually works, and freedom of choice. Instead, we have bullshit. Don't you ever wonder where it's all coming from? Colorado needs a bull, not a bullshitter. I'm Alex Walker, and I approve the shit out of this message.
Goodness, that was an awful lot of poop, wasn't it?
That was some shit. It really was.
That was strangely satisfying, but also gross at the same time. We do have an interesting update here, and I may need some emotional support cheese after this, okay? Right now, the Senate is tied. 40 Democrats, 40 Republicans. Oh god, this is stressing me out. Okay, I gotta have some emotional support cheese. Do you want some cheese?
You know, that cheese looks fantastic, Andrea, but, it's,
You gonna go with pills?
I'm gonna have some bunch of pills instead.
Oh god.
Mm.
Oh, okay.
How's that cheese treat you? You want to crush one of these up on there?
No, I think it'll make the cheese taste weird.
Dear God.
The cheese is good. The cheese is good. The cheese is helping.
We
I'm
can still
feeling
do this.
cheese-related endorphins. Okay, it's just the tension, you guys. It's a lot of fucking tension. Okay? Just to have it this close.
Okay.
Jesus. Okay. What else we got? What other results we got coming in?
We've got Wisconsin coming in
Ooh. Okay.
with 11% of the Wisconsin votes counted, and most of those are cheese votes.
Okay.
How's it looking?
Okay. Let's see. It looks like oh god, it looks like Mandela Barnes is up versus Ron Johnson just a little bit. Okay. Okay. That's hopeful. That's hopeful. Okay.
I can deal with that. I can deal
I'm
with
gonna have a
that.
drink.
All right. All right.
Oh yeah.
Happy place.
Oh yeah.
Happy place.
That's good. Okay. Okay.
Travis
That's good.
County. Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
You know, Barnes, he had a big focus on abortion,
Uh-huh.
and Johnson was really focusing on crime.
Yeah.
And I think that might be what is leading to the, so far, I mean, it's not neck and neck, but they're also earning a lot of votes. How do you see this one going for the state of Wisconsin? The cheeseheads, I believe they've been called by other states.
You know, when I close my eyes and I go to a happy place, there's kind of like tall waving grasses, and some gentle bird song.
Oh, that's nice.
And Mandela Barnes is at a podium giving a thank you speech. But here in the real world, you know, I hate to say it, but again, those Republican votes, they tend to kind of tick up towards the end of the night, so I'm not sure Mandela's going to be able to hang on. I'm a little worried about him right now.
Well,
I took a little lavender oil.
The House and Senate, they are very red. They are very, very red. Are they Florida red? Scabbed over red? Yeah, they are.
Yeah.
And it's abrasive. It honestly is.
Yeah. So here's a question that I have for you. Picture yourself in the shoes of a Mandela Barnes or a Ron Johnson, or you know, one of these other races that are just so close, where it's too close to call. What do you think is going through those candidates' minds right now?
Well, if I was the Republican candidate right now, I would be thinking about my vast potential for money and keeping of that money. If I was the Democrat candidate right now, and you know, I hate to say it, but it would also be money, and the money that they probably won't be getting from their new government position. They might have to start updating their LinkedIn again, and you know, that's always a pain, because that means redoing your resume. You got to fire off a specific one for Taco Cabana. They always want it in the right format, and that's a lot even for a premier candidate like either of them.
Sure. Yeah, that, what font do you even use on those resumes? It's such a fucking nightmare.
Helvetica's for bitches, that's all we know.
Yeah. Austin, we have some other results kind of coming in. We have an update over in Iowa, so I'm going to send you over to the map board. Let's talk about the Senate race in Iowa, okay? We've got Chuck Grassley, the Republican. He's been around for a hot second. And then we have Mike Franken, the Democratic challenger. With 22% of the votes counted, Franken is up 59% over Grassley's 40%. Now, that is a surprise to see the incumbent not doing so well. Austin, show us on the map with Iowa, where do we think are going to be the factors that ultimately decide the Senate race?
Hey, you know, it is great to bust out the old blue pen for this one. And, you know, we all know a lot about Franken. We've heard that he is almost certainly a human male. And he is in, or said to be in, Iowa, which is located here in the United States. And it's sort of a shock to me that he's doing so well. I honestly didn't even get the blue pen that had a lot of ink in it. So I am just going to have to draw the imagination of the competitor just right here. He wanted this space. That was going to be his mental space. And he was going to try and take up more of it as the night went on. But luckily this time, thank you, Iowa, you really just, you came through with a lot of little votes in all the little places, and now this, as you can tell, is, I mean, it's the fact that we all get to live with. I'm happy for this. This really brings me a lot of joy, and personally, you know, I'm glad I didn't wear underwear. Back to you in the studio, Andrea.
Again, just want to reiterate that we are still in the same studio, and we have been the whole time. Okay. So one interesting thing about this race is both of these dudes are super old. Grassley is knocking on the door of 90 years old. Franken is 71 years old, a former rear admiral. Yeah. Yeah, that's what it says on his Grindr profile. We all knew that joke was coming. Okay, we'll take Franken though. We like Franken. Now I want to hop, skip, and jump just a little bit over to the southwest. Over in Arizona, we have another award to give out for outstanding performance in campaign advertising. This one goes to Jim Lehman of Arizona, who is winning the I wanted to be an actor, but my parents made me go to law school award. Let's see what Jim's got.
It's a DC gang! Well, if it isn't Big Jim Lehman.
We're tired of being pushed around.
And open borders.
And gas prices.
The good people of Arizona have had enough of you. It's time for a showdown. I'm Jim Lehman, and I approve this message.
Jim, it is not too late for you to pursue that acting career, buddy. Follow your dreams.
You can do it.
You can.
Barely.
Yes, yes. Okay, now we are gonna hop all the way back across the country. It's an exciting night, folks, okay? There's a lot of movement going around. It's election night, okay? Let's go over to the North Carolina Senate race, okay? We've got Ted Budd, the Republican, versus Sherry Beasley, the Democrat, okay? 78% of votes counted, okay? So they're doing pretty good with the tabulations. 50% for Budd, 47% for Beasley. This is close, you guys. It is by no means decided. It's still too early to call, but it's not looking good for Beasley, and I think I know why. I think there's one specific group of voters that I think we need to talk to real quick.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. And that is the stoners, okay?
Oh, yes, absolutely.
This was not the Bud that you are looking for. You want Sherry Beasley, okay? Yeah. This is the wrong kind. It's not going to do the thing that you want it to do. I mean,
You wanted the kind Bud, not this one.
Yeah. This is the Ted Bud. It's different. Trump won North Carolina narrowly in the last couple of elections, so it wouldn't be a huge surprise if Ted Budd were to win this race, and I think he's even favored to win this race, so I'm going to need another
He
drink.
very much is favored to win this, and not without good reason. North Carolina has been long regarded as the crap Carolina. I don't know why I wouldn't visit there myself. It seems icky, like moist, icky. Like you'd walk there and your socks would be wet even though you weren't in any rain.
Okay.
But I don't know that is Ted Budd's fault.
Well, it remains to be seen. We are certainly not going to iron out that one tonight. This. I'm going to be honest with you, Austin.
Okay.
We've got a lot of tight races going on. Okay, things are tight. They are tighter than a hermit crab's butthole right now. Okay,
That is tight.
I feel like I need a little bit more emotional support. Guys, can we do the basket of kittens? Can we do the kittens real quick? All right, that was helpful. It's always nice to see a few little kittens just scampering around.
It really is. They
Being
are
kitties.
adorable.
They're so cute. Okay, now let's go back over to Nevada. We went from North Carolina. Let's go to the other end state on the other side, Nevada. Polls close in Nevada in 10 minutes. Okay, if you are in line, stay in line. Hopefully for voting and not for hookers or anything like that. We are going to go over to Jen, who is out in the okay, Jen's in Nevada now. She's in Nevada now?
That's what the expense report said. She said she's in Nevada.
Oh my God, what is that?
$5,000.
Jesus Christ, okay.
Hey, I'm in Nevada now where if you pay attention, it's raining votes.
Jen, is that a parasol?
Yes, it is.
Terrific, okay, how is the mood with the Nevada voters, I guess?
The mood is pensive. There's only one way to describe it. They're pensive. They're thinking. They're deeply thinking. They're writing things down. They're standing in line. I mean, I'm really far away because I wouldn't want to be too close or anything. But they're still in line. So there's hope.
Jen, how far away are we talking, babe?
can't hear you. What?
Yeah, okay. Jen, thank you so much for checking in. We're gonna let you go. And you know, happy trails, I guess.
They seem pretty happy. I like the hats.
Yeah. Okay. I'm not entirely sure what's going on there, but well, we do have another award to give out. Okay. This ad. Oh God, this one is my favorite ad. This is my favorite ad.
Are we doing the good one now?
We're doing the really good one now. This is my favorite ad of the whole entire night. It is horrifying. There was no reason for this ad to happen, and yet it happened anyway. We are going to go over to Utah now, to Linda Paulson, and we are awarding her the Breaking the Cringe Meter Award, and you will see why in just a second.
Utah District 12, listen up right here. There's a new name on the ballot for the Senate this year. My name is Linda Paulson, Republican and awesome. Love God and family and the Constitution. I tried to get another conservative to run. Nobody could do it, so I'm getting it done. I'm pro-religious freedom, pro-life, pro-police, the right to bear arms and the right to free speech. I want less government control and regulation, want to stop and expose all political corruption where there's integrity, morality, accountability. Government programs should lead to self-sufficiency.
I cannot think of a single thing that makes less sense to me in this universe than that political ad.
Oh my goodness, a lot of the people in Utah are going to need their binkies tonight. That's just, I can't.
Yeah.
And I don't want to.
It's a lot.
Yeah.
It's a lot. I might have to have another little step for that. Okay. Folks, we are coming up to the end of the hour, but there's one more race that we want to check in on that is very near and dear to our hearts. That is over in Colorado, ladies and gentlemen. The House race between Lauren Boebert, who is just a little bit Republican, and then we got Adam Frisch, the Democrat, and we are pleased as punch to say that with 13% of the vote, Adam Frisch is up 59% to Boebert's 40%. Is sanity gonna win in this race, Austin?
Oh man, I really hope so. I need that tonight. You know, this race in particular was exciting to me because I learned just recently that Lauren Boebert is not Marjorie Taylor Greene.
Yeah, those are two different people.
Isn't that weird?
Yeah, sometimes you do see them in the same place at the same time. Actually, two different people. It's a shocker, I know.
I mean, I want to go back to the instant replay on it, but I'm willing to take it as it's said for now.
Yeah. Folks, before we leave you tonight, we're going to leave you with just a little bit of emotional support before we send you off. So let's just real quick, let's just get a few whale noises going. Can we get a few whale noises? That was soothing, but also weird at the same time, and I think that says a lot about this country.
I have the nicest rash I've ever had right now. It's frightening.
Maybe here's some lavender oil.
Oh, thank you. Yeah.
Folks, ladies and gentlemen, it has been a pleasure to be here with you tonight. I want to thank all of you for watching. I want to thank our wonderful production staff and writing team here for all of the hard work that they have done. I want to thank everybody who sent in comments and questions. I want to thank our wonderful friends over at Wild Gins. This is a delicious gin, and you may need a couple of those by the end of the night. And our friends over at Antonelli's for the emotional support cheese. I love you all very much. Stay safe out there. Keep on trucking. You're not alone. We're here with you, okay?
That was a terrific one. I loved it. Hey, if you didn't go out and vote, this is on you.
Night, folks.
Good night.